Good afternoon. Come on in. Come on in. We'll be getting started in just a couple minutes. Good afternoon, and welcome to Her Peace Talk Show. Listen, you want to come on in and you want to be here for this exciting conversation this afternoon with my host. I promise you that it is going to be good. So as you join, I'm going to ask that you would share and invite others to join us. It is going to be good. It is going to be good. We are so excited to be talking to these beautiful women and allowing them to share about their business and share about their story. So I am so excited to have my guest speaker with us here this afternoon. I'm going to give it just a few minutes before we get started. Go ahead and come on in and join us this afternoon. I promise you that it is going to be exciting. It is going to be exciting. So come on in and join the conversation. And I want you to prepare to help me welcome my special guest. Come on in. I see you guys coming in. I know it's a Saturday and it is Holy Saturday, the Saturday before Easter, the Saturday before Resurrection Sunday. But we are still going to do the talk show this afternoon. So come on in and join us and share the live. And I am about to bring on my special guest this afternoon. Hey,
Good afternoon. I am great. It is so good to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much for the invite. I am so
Of, cou-
excited.
of course, of course, of course. Now it looks like we are fighting against Holy Saturday and people being out doing things, but guess what? We going on anyway, huh? We're gonna have this conversation anyway
Anyway,
because we want them to know about Black women handling business.
yes,
Woo! Yes, 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 yes. I am so excited this afternoon to have Miss Gina Cotton with us this afternoon. And listen, her business, which is also, I'm going to call it a ministry because it is blessing the lives of women. And I know this because I was blessed on last year. So I know that it is blessing the lives of women. And so I am so excited. And I need you all, those of you who are watching on YouTube, I can't keep up with you, but I will get over there to check you all out. But I need you all to help me welcome today Miss Gina Cotton, the owner and the founder of Black Women
yes,
Handling Business. Good
yes.
afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon. And when I hear other people talk about Black women handling business, it's like I forget that God has given me that vision because it's bigger than me. It's bigger than words that I can put to it. So it's like I know what it is, but I sit on the side of the lines where I get to celebrate. We talk a lot about women empowerment and Black women supporting Black women or Blacks supporting Blacks. And it's like, what can I do to pay that forward? Because if I can't do it individually, I can do it collectively and
Mm-hmm,
bring
mm-hmm,
other people on board because it is dispelling the notion that Black women don't support each other based upon a few because we have seen it. You were our award recipient last year for Women in Business. I can't wait for you to share everyone what that experience was like for you. But it is
mm-hmm,
such an honor because I get to, just by way of this platform, I've gotten a way to connect with you and get to know you better. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have met the number of women that I have met. And this year, to have many respond back and say, I've never been nominated for anything,
mm-hmm,
never had a recognition like this, or
mm-hmm.
thank you for acknowledging Black women and what they do and what we do.
And listen, after we witnessed what we witnessed last week, we know that this
Yes,
is certainly the time for
yes,
us as Black women to be celebrated and honored because that was truly,
yes.
truly amazing. And it says a lot. And to watch her as
With
a Black
grace.
woman,
A Black woman Supreme Court justice?
to watch her endure and to watch her poise was absolutely amazing. And if it didn't cause sisters to feel happy and excited about being a Black woman, I tell you what, I don't know what else will help
I
them.
don't know what else to tell you. I don't know
I,
what.
I really don't. I really don't. Can I tell you? It's a good thing that I'm no longer employed. That I'm retired. But girl, if I had to walk up into work that day after that, it would have been something. Do you hear me? I
Like
would
the
have put
next
on
day
my
I put in my
bestest
room.
girl. I would have put on my bestest suit, my 4-inch heels, and listen. It would have been a day like no other. It would have been a day like no other. So that was just simply amazing. And this is truly the time for Black women to be celebrated, to be honored, and to show that we can support one another. You
Yes,
mentioned that because, and you're absolutely right. It is out that Black women, we don't support each other. It's out that we're always at each other. Yes, that we so chatty, and that we gossip, and that we talk about each other. But that is not the case for all sisters.
No,
Not
no.
at all. And for us to be able to show differently is what is amazing. Absolutely, positively amazing. And so we're going to get into our conversation this afternoon. And first of all, I want you to tell us what Black women handling business is.
What Black women handling business is. Because I know from when you hear Black women handling business, people may automatically think entrepreneurs or business owners, and it is inclusive. But the one thing that we know as Black women, and the Black women, our mothers and our grandmothers and our great grandmothers and our four great parents, is that at the end of the day, when it comes to Black women, we handle business. We take care of business, whether you're a business owner, whether you're in your career, if you're a mom, if you're a wife. And we have learned through this pandemic that we have literally, in some capacity, have become all things to a lot of people. In school, they were teachers, guidance counselors, principals, tutors, and we know in our medical field, our nurses or our healthcare workers that were the frontliners during this pandemic, that didn't get to be at home like we were at home, that worked the long hours, that had to just eat on the run because they were taking care of others, and not just nurses, but all our healthcare workers, even those that had to dispose of the items that they had to clean the hospitals and nursing homes. Like, everybody plays a part. And the one thing that I know about Black women, being a Black woman, is that we are resilient. Resilient. So when I see me as a Black woman and women that look like me, I know she's taking care of business. And even to our ones, I always tell people, we have to extend grace to the ones that haven't gotten it yet. Maybe they are not around a group of women that are positive reinforcers, or maybe they've never been around go-getters or people that hone into their gifts and their passions. So maybe they've only been around those that fight and curse and drink, and they don't know that there's another way. So it's a smaller group of those individuals than it is us collectively, which is why we can't say Black women don't get along. Some don't, until they are taught better.
Right.
Some is just environment, is what is all that they know. But we know that that's not all inclusive. So when God placed that on my heart back in 2017, when I created the mastermind teams, it was pulling Black women together that also had goals and dreams and aspirations, but weren't around other people saying, come on, we can do this, or being accountable. Did you do what you put on your to-do list to do? So knowing that you had another sister that was holding you accountable for what you said you were going to do for you, it literally added to the stakes. And to see the things that I wrote, now, even with me being the visionary and writing down my list, and a year later looking on the list and seeing that I had scratched off everything I had on the list, Coach Sandera, I tell you, it was mind-blowing. The question that I had for myself was, why didn't you do this sooner? The only thing that's still pending on the list is that +1, because I feel like, God, don't forget about me. You know, but I know that that's coming. So when I saw what we were able to do collectively as women, I was like, when God gave me the idea of a awards gala, I was like, I've never done anything formal or to that magnitude. And the one thing that I said to him was, I'll do this under one condition. Who am I to give God a condition? But my condition was simply, if you do this with me, I'll take it all the way out. I didn't know it was going to be a repeat a year or two or a year.
Mm.
And for God to literally give me creative control and to give me favor with people that I did not know, to say, hey, I'm doing this. I don't know what it is. I don't know where the money's going to come from. But this is what I see, and this is what I'm going to do. And Black Woman Handling Business with Birth, where it sold out in 2.5 months for people that didn't even know who I was.
Now, with that, how many years have you been doing the gala?
This would be year 3.
So I was in year 2. I was the honoree in year 2.
Yes.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, the name Black Women Handling Business. Now, there could be some that would not be happy because it singles us out. It's not just women handling business. Tell us how you settled on the name.
That's a very good question. I always tell people I am a supporter, advocate, empowerment strategist for all women in any way that I could help it, regardless of race, regardless if you're Caucasian, Asian, if you're whatever your race is. But I also know, and we're not blind to the day and age that we live in, that as African Americans or Black Americans, we know that we always have to put forth a little bit more effort than our counterparts. Mm-hmm. We know that we have to stand out just a little bit more. We may be the one that go in a little early, stay late. We know that we have to go the extra mile, even if our credentials match, even if your resume is longer. We know that by default, not in all cases, that we have to stand out a little bit more, because we are first going to be seen not by the work that we put in, but by the color of our skin.
Absolutely.
And that is the truth. I don't I don't care if you can sing, dance. We see it in sports. We see it in entertainment. We see it in ministries. You hear Black church, you hear white church versus collectively the church of God or the body of Christ. And when I think of Black women, while I'm an advocate for women, I know about being a Black woman. I speak your language.
Yes.
I understand you, even if you give me a nod. If you
just
if you say, I already know what you're saying without you saying it. You can tell me what you're going through, and although I may not have had those experiences, I can empathize with you. I'm not a mother, but I'm a caretaker. I love children. So I may not empathize with you on the level as mother to mother, but I understand I'm a child. I have a mom.
Yes.
So being a Black woman and understanding that platform is no different to me than when you see Burger King is branded for Burger King. McDonald's is branded for McDonald's. All they may sell the same type of food. Burger King is known for home of the Whopper.
Yeah.
McDonald's, we know the jingle from a childhood to all beef patty, special soft leg. I'm 47 years old and I remember that from 7. But it gives the power of choice, that just because I may go to McDonald's for their fries, but I may like Burger King salad. It really is what fits on your palate. And as a Black woman, I look like you, I sound like you. We have differences, backgrounds, upbringing, but I get you. I understand. Good. I can relate to you.
That's good. Well, just for the record, I love the name. And I actually love the fact that you were bold enough to name it that. I really am, because and I learned about you even before you were doing the awards gala. You had an event years ago at the library downtown.
Yes,
that was my first time experiencing you. Yes, and Black women handling business. You
Yes,
actually were doing a workshop, a seminar type thing. And I came, yes, which was very, 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 very powerful.
yes. I was still trying to find my footing.
Yes, I get it. I get it. I get it. That's what we have to do. So how many years has Black women handling business been in existence? Not just the gala, but overall.
Overall, the idea of Black women handling business birthed back in 2017
Oh
under
wow.
the umbrella of I Motivate Solutions. God had given me that name, and I was like, well, what am I going to do with I Motivate Solutions? Because I found my gifting, believe it or not, coach. I found my gifting that when someone came to me and they talked to me about something idea that they had, I would sit down with them, and I know you being a coach, you understand, you inner hear what they're saying and you start seeing where they're going with it. So I learned that I understood how to ask them certain questions.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do that? Well, what is your why?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
understanding the difference in hearing
Mm-hmm.
when someone is focusing more on the how. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, why are you worried about the how? Because
Mm-hmm.
if you do the why, the how would manifest. And
Right.
I learned that I was coaching and didn't know that I was coaching.
Absolutely.
I, I didn't know that I was giving good advice. And then when
Mm-hmm.
I would see that person execute it and it would work well with them, I was like, well, I said, that's what I do. I motivate. And I said, well,
Mm-hmm.
I motivate solutions. I don't have all the answers, but we know that procedures and systems comes by way of solutions.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a problem, it's easy to focus on the problem. But if you're not focused on the solution, on what are you going to implement, how can we work around it? And probably a lot of that came from by way of study when I was matriculating in school and we had to write papers. And so I learned from companies like Kodak and Publix and Walgreens and Walmart and how they did things when there was a problem. They focused on the solution.
The
So
solution.
I Motivate
Absolutely.
Solutions came into place, and then reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill was the aha moment I had for the mastermind team. I just put a twist on it because the mastermind team, you come together to work on one common goal.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm reading this, I said, well, wait a minute. What if we pull people together that had their own goals? And what we did was we worked collectively with helping each other. And what I did not know was that I was creating a team of coaches where we were coaching each other, but I was headlining. Oh, I was sending out homework.
Love it.
They had to come. They had to
Love it.
meetings. I didn't know what I was doing, but
Mm-hmm.
God was leading me.
Yes. Yes. He'll do it. He will do it. He will do it. That is absolutely amazing. So tell us about I Motivate Solutions and include Black women handling business and how this supports women, and it also supports self-care because you show women that it's okay. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, our Motivate Solution is resolution centered, faith based. I can't do anything if I can't incorporate the word of God or faith as I know it as being a born again believer, then I know I can't touch it. It's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when I Motivate Solutions was birthed, I thought about the things that I had gone through in life, being divorced, not being a mom, hitting rock bottom and losing everything, and seeing God rebuild my life, learning life lessons, knowing when you're reaching burnout or freeze points, because sometimes as Black women, we learn how to navigate and move even in exhaustion.
Yes.
Car, when your light come on to indicate that you're running out of gas, you can only drive so far with that gas being low. But what I learned with that is, and any mechanic will probably tell you, the longer you drive on that you're also pulling in trash.
Absolutely.
You're pulling in junk. And
Mm-hmm.
all of that is playing a part, even though your car is still moving, but at some point in time, if you don't stop and refill, which takes us to that self-care, if you don't stop and refill, you are going to come to a complete stop in a place that you otherwise would not have stopped. No one wants to
Mm-hmm.
be on the side of the road in the middle of the night. No one wants to
Mm-hmm.
be in uncompromising situation or in the neighborhood, or be caught where your cell phone goes dead, or you don't have
Mm-hmm.
any the cell towers are not around and you can't
Right.
reach out for support. So that's where the ladies retreats come into place. And the retreats that I host under I Motivate Solutions, they're not for business, they're not for ministry, they're not for workshops and education. It's all for relaxation, having a weekend getaway with some girlfriends. We play games, they eat till their hearts out. I have comfort food, I have healthy foods. And when I tell you, I've had some that have come to all the retreats because they know what they're getting. It really, I'm such an advocate for self-care, strong, healthy mental health care, because that's also a stigma in our community.
Mm-hmm.
What goes on at home, stay at home, but you need help, but you're scared to talk to people. You don't want nobody in your business, so you're trying to figure it out on your own when really you're becoming sicker. But we'll trust the
My,
doctor's
my.
report when he write out the prescription. We'll trust the doctor's report when it's the diagnosis. And we got a toothache, we go to the dentist. We got car issues, we go to the mechanic. But when it comes to our self-care and our inner being, it's a no, I got it. I'm going to pray about it. Baby, I'm going to pray and see my therapist.
You got that right.
Because God
You
uses the
got that
therapist
right.
to do. I'm gonna pray that the therapist is intact to treat me or to listen to me and give me the guidance that I need. And I see more and more therapists and counselors and coaches are stepping up and advocating for self-care and mental health awareness. So I am so glad. And that's why we have a category specifically for our counselors and therapists and mental health workers, because I want to make sure that they are highlighted, that
Yes.
we're here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you just mentioned something. Tell us about the categories that a woman could be nominated for.
Ooh, okay. Yes. Off the top of my head, we have
Mm-hmm.
women in business, for profit and not for profit. We have women in ministry, women in the arts and creative works, women in nursing, women in education, women in politics. We have women in beauty. That's for our hairstylists and our makeup artists. We have women in law. So whether you're an attorney, if you're a police officer, correction officer in that field, I feel like I'm leaving a few out. Oh, women in literature. So if you are a published author. So we've been trying to cover the grounds in what else can we add to recognize what Black women are doing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I know this year we have 13 categories. Last year we had 7, but we had a lot of ladies. But this has been our largest year. We have 47 ladies that are recognized on the ballot. We have doubled in size. So if you take 2019 and 2021 and add them together, we're expecting that amount plus more in
Oh,
2.
wow. Wow.
So yes,
That
it
is
be a faith walk.
that is amazing.
Praise God.
That lets you know that it is very necessary. When it doubles like that, that lets you know that it's necessary. That is absolutely amazing. Now, you just told us about the categories. Now, tell us how that works.
Oh yes.
Tell us about the team that you have, that how fair it is. Tell us about it, and tell us about the nomination process, because it is very well organized, and I feel like people need to know that, so that when they see you do it each year, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember her saying this. Let me nominate somebody," so that they won't be afraid of the process.
Yes. Well, y'all, the process, and I know Coach Sandera can speak to this. The process is very easy.
Mhm.
It's really easy. It is as simple as someone nominating you or you nominating yourself. Now, the information I do not collect who does the nominating. I personally don't do any nominating because I'm the visionary. I know too many people. And by default, I would nominate people that I know, but the goal is to reach people beyond the people that I know. So I don't do any nominating. So whether you nominate someone or yourself, I will receive an email. Now, right now, as far as the team, I'm the team that just changed hats. So I'm praying to God to send the team. I'm the one that handles all of the emails. All the emails come from me because I know God is going to send that support.
Yes,
So,
he is. We speak
so
it right now. We declare
yes,
and decree it right now that
right now.
somebody is coming to assist. We receive
Yes.
it and we believe it.
Yes, because it is a huge undertaking, but I love it.
Mhm.
So they go online, they will select what category, because you can only be nominated in one category. They give that person's name, their email address. The phone number is optional. Once I receive the email, I email that potential nominee to let them know that they have been nominated for the Black Women Handling Business Awards in what category. And I put all the information there where they can go to the website, see prior years of the gala, and make an executive decision. And I'll tell you all the biggest decision I had to make for this year. And once they acknowledge if they will participate or not, because I do leave it up to them. I think this being the third year, I've only had maybe 3 people to decline, and that was because they had personal things going on and they didn't feel that they would put the work in to make it fun. So it wasn't because they didn't want to, but because they had
Right.
things going on. So once I get their email back that they're going to participate, then I send them the qualification list, which is very simple. And I always tell them in the email, don't let it overwhelm you. It's only so we can get to know the person better. They're going to send over their bio, a professional headshot, and then I let them know, hey, if the tickets are on sale, share this with your family and friends because we know dreams cost money.
Yes. Hello. Light. Amen.
Dream. So it's like, while it's a noble cause, the biggest part of it in the first year and the second year, but God met our need, was when nominees like, well, hey, if I've been nominated, then why do I have to buy a ticket? Well, you're still a guest because a nomination doesn't decree a win. And the overall picture is not so much the voting process or being an award recipient. It's enlarging your territory.
Yes,
It's
it is.
outside of your immediate network to know who you are and what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's bringing you to the platform, not me. And I share this with everybody, coach. If this was someone else's platform, I wouldn't even qualify for any of the categories.
Mm. Mm.
I don't qualify for any of the categories. And I mean that humbly. So it's like, how can I have a platform that recognizes other women in notable careers and businesses, but there's not a category that even I fit in? So
Wow.
it's a very selfless work that I absolutely enjoy doing. I
And
just
you do. You do. You really
I have
do.
fun doing it.
I experienced it for myself, and you absolutely, positively do. And that's why I did everything that I could this year to help to
Yes.
promote it more because I actually experienced it. I'm going to talk about that. I ain't going to throw it in there, but go ahead. Go ahead.
So the first 2 years with our nominees having to, get their ticket, because when you were there, all of that you try to put together, it costs money. People forget you have to get insurance, you have to pay for the building, you have to pay for, of course, your food and your beverages, your entertainment, the awards. So much goes into place. And the first 2 years, Gina wasn't on payroll. So imagine doing something where
Amen.
you're paying everybody around you because it's all about the experience. And I say this with every ounce of humility. While I am in business to make money, it wasn't about me making money because I'm so assured that mine would come. It would come for me.
Yes.
In due
Yes.
season, it's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
My position is, God, help me do this diligently so you can trust me with this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want you to continue to trust me with this so we can continue moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this year,
Come
every
on. Tell them.
Every Friday, I was posting, save the date, save the date, release the tickets on Black Friday. I think I had 1 or 2 tickets to trail in. And I had already started emailing nominees. And I said, well, this year we're just going to set a different price for our nominees. That's going to be different from the guests. After I sent out a couple of emails, it was still on me like, I don't know if that's going to be the way to go because a lot of them, and I had to get myself out of that mentality of, well, what if no one gets a ticket? What if anyone doesn't come? I had to get my mindset out of who wouldn't come and who wouldn't buy a ticket, but who would come and who would buy a ticket.
Yes.
So at that moment, I remember sitting on my bed and I said, Lord, which way do we go with this? Because I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. And just so gently, I just heard, do you trust me? Do you trust me? And I said, okay, so we're going to waive the nominee's fee. I said, waive the nominee's fee? We already only got about 10 tickets. And sure enough, I remember emailing all the nominees back that I had sent emails. I sent one email with one price. Then I sent them another email saying, oh, it's been reduced to this. And then I said, well, you know what? News in, your entry ticket is free. And I literally was like, God, I'm trusting you all the way. Little did I know, with me believing God just for that and planting a seed by faith, that the numbers would double for collectively what we had in 2019 and our guests in 2021, where we are now expecting anywhere from 250 to 275. Now the head count is right at about 300. But you normally when you have events, you factor in 15 to 20% of people that may not come because things come up. But somehow with the BWHB Awards, y'all be coming through.
Yes, yes, yes. And looking fly and looking good at that. But no, we got to pause right there and celebrate that. Won't he do it, girl? Listen, that's why when we had that conversation, you already know what we talked about. And I told you, I said, no, girl, no. And that's, people need to hear. It was not that you were never afraid or in doubt, but God brought that thing through. And I mean, it did it early because I believe in March. You were sold out in March, correct?
Listen, in one weekend, I kid you not, I planted a seed of faith. In one weekend, I was, whenever you're doing an event and projecting numbers, we had a projected numbers of, okay, how many tickets do we want to sell so that, because we're still in COVID, everyone's health is still my number one priority. So the objective was never to max out the building. Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what, we should be good at about 200 people. And that's, including the ticket sales. And I had completely forgot to include volunteers myself. So that was even off the radar. So I'm still promoting the tickets. If people knew how long I work, how hard I work, and not look at, you're talking about the least of the ticket sales was $35. The most it was $65. But if people know, and I know you host events, you know this, people see the end result. They see the end result, but they don't know when you are, okay, adding this up and you got to hire this person. You're negotiating prices and people not calling you back, or you got a budget set for something and you want this person, but they're kind of out of you have to do so much strategic moving that
They
people
don't
just
understand. They
they
don't
just get
understand.
inner results. Like, baby, Gina still get up while I'm doing this, still working Monday through Friday on lunch breaks, doing work on weekends when people are out enjoying themselves. You know what I was doing that weekend? I was posting ticket sales coming through. I'm talking about not one or two tickets. I'm talking
Mhm.
about people buying tickets in bulks of 10,
Mhm.
15, 20,
Yes.
10. I was sitting there like, what, Lord, in a weekend. So in a weekend's time from Black Friday up until I posted the cost and how many tickets, from one week to the next, I had projected numbers of, okay, well, this week I'm going to be pushing, and the goal is to get this amount. And then we were exceeding that amount. And then the next day, exceeding that amount. So every ticket sale that came through, Coach Sandera, I would say, Lord, thank you.
Mhm.
Every ticket sale, Lord, thank you. Bless them back 100-fold. Lord, I don't care if it was one ticket or if it was 20. Every ticket that came through, I expressed gratitude because he didn't have to.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
people didn't have to. And I
Mhm.
said, these are people. And here's the thing about when you're planning an event and you're building a brand, it's never, my focus is never on the people that I know that will support. Once you take your mind and you take that expectation of family and friends that they should buy tickets and come through, the better you will be in business.
Yes.
People always,
Yes.
and I always see this posted a lot. It's your family and friends that don't support. It's always strangers. Your mindset should always be beyond the people that you know.
Absolutely.
It should never be
Absolutely.
about your circle, because when I think about the people that I know that have showed up in one aspect or another, I don't have an expectation that they should, because I know them. It's
Mhm.
your mindset should always be, I want to reach outside of the
Yes.
border. I want to cross
Yes.
the line. And
Yes.
90%, 90 to 95% of the people that have attended the BWHB Awards, Coach Sandera, have been people that I do not know.
And it's best that way, because if you stay within your family, you don't grow. Your business doesn't grow. Your nothing grows if you stay within your circle. And you never want to stay within your circle in anything. No, you want to grow. You want to go beyond. You
Yes,
want to go beyond your family. But a lot of that is true. That your family will be the last. You would think that they will be the first, but when you allow your mind to go beyond that and not even focus on that, that's when you will grow, and your business will grow, and your ministry will grow. Everything will grow
it will.
when you get that out of your head. it,
You have
it's
to
it's
lose.
beyond your family.
You have to lose that
Mhm.
expectation,
Mhm. Mhm.
because no, 9 times out of 10, people that know you, that support what you're doing, nine, I'm gonna go 9.9 times out of 10, they are doing it, they are supporting you because they know you.
Mhm.
People that support you that don't know you have a greater expectancy of an experience.
Yes. Yes.
They're coming to gain something. There have been a lot of people I have supported because I believe in them and I know them, so I'm going to support what they're doing.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
support isn't the same as the person that you don't know, because the
Absolutely.
person don't know you or your brand. They're hungry.
Absolutely.
They're coming
Absolutely.
with a different type of expectation, and
Mhm.
they're going to be your most authentic. If you're looking for feedback, it's going to be the most authentic from the people that you don't know. That's why after every event, I'm never immediately on social media posting about it. I let the people talk.
Yeah.
When I pick up my phone is the one with 200 and 300 notifications, because the guests are sharing their experience
Right.
of the BWHB Awards or of the
Retreat.
Vegas retreat.
Mhm.
Then I can come back and I can do my thank yous. You got to
Yes.
let people talk for you, good, bad, or indifferent, because I'm always
Absolutely.
looking, what can I do to improve it?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
You have to have room for growth, even if it pinches. And I thank God for Pastor T. Cole, for you, Kendall, anyone that has like shared a word of encouragement where I was around here like, well, Lord,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
And now the
Nothing.
men are stepping
Trust him.
forth,
Trust
trusting.
him.
And now the
Trust
men
him.
are reaching out saying, well, hey, what about us? But we're gonna
Mhm.
save that for a different conversation.
Okay. 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 So something's coming. Something's stirring. Something's stirring. Okay. Okay. I like it. 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 So tell us why you feel self care is so important. Why is self care important to you?
If you put nothing in, you get nothing out.
That's
Like,
good.
after our interview here, I already have it set up for a deep tissue massage. I said, Gina, when the last time you've taken time out for a massage? Or when is the last time you've taken a moment out to meditate, to get quiet? And the number one reason for me is that when you are running on fumes, that means any alarms that are going off in your body, you are second guessing that it's something because you're used to continuing to move. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a lingering backache or a lingering headache, or your feet are constantly swollen, or you're having restless nights of sleep, you just keep having bouts of insomnia, but you're thinking about the to-do list that you got to do the next day. This person needs something, or that person needs something, but you're not listening to the alarms that's going off in your body. You are
Absolutely.
literally putting yourself in imminent danger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that is why I tell women, and I did it when I was coaching more frequently. Put a date in your calendar where you literally put make no plans. And I learned that when I was in school, when I wanted to hang out with friends and try to do homework and try to be active in ministry, that I was saying yes too much. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when I learned the power of no,
Oh, yes.
when I learned how to say no and
Mm-hmm.
unapologetically,
Yes.
then I found a softer way to say it, because some people aren't very receptive to the word no. So I started saying, well, I really don't have the capacity to carry that
Mm-hmm.
day, or you know what, that day is already full. And because I'm a calendar person, I literally would write on the calendar, make no plans. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to make myself stick to it, no matter how bad I wanted to go somewhere or do something. And I'm like, ooh, I look, Gina, it says make no plans. I had to stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
So what you did was you put boundaries in place.
yes,
Healthy boundaries.
healthy
And and
boundaries.
and people are so afraid to do that. They feel like they have to say yes to everybody and be everything to everybody.
They're going to get, when you say no, they're still going to get it done, because they're going to find the yes from the person that has the capacity to do it.
Absolutely. But it don't have to be you.
It does not have to be you. And some
Mm-mm.
people, unfortunately, they don't feel adequate not being the go-to person. So that could be dangerous too. If your expectation is to always be the go-to person, that because they know people at that point are only going to come to you because they're going to write your name down. They're going to go, oh, Gina, she'll say yes, she'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
then when you tell them
Mm-hmm.
no, and they go, why, or they be upset, by default, in our humanness, and I have to extend grace, people forget the times that you said yes.
You are absolutely right.
We do it to God.
Absolutely right.
God
Yeah.
bless us, favor us, and the one time He doesn't move in the manner that we want, and we have our temper tantrum, and God just go, "What? Did you forget? Count your blessings. I got time."
Mm-hmm. And we do it, and we do that often. We do it often, and that's why we as women, we you called it alarms. We get the warning signs. We just we just ignore them. We ignore them, and you can only ignore for so long. You can only ignore for so long. And what is the real reason that you ignore the alarms or the warning signs? What's
Mm.
the real reason? That real reason is inside of you, and you need to check why you got to be the person, why you got to always be in the know, why you got to always be there for everybody, why you got to always be you got to be known as the yes person. Why do you have to answer every time somebody calls? Why do you have to answer every time somebody texts you? Why? There's a reason for that. Why are you so needy?
Yes, that's good. You got to be
Needy
okay.
and dependent. You got to be okay with being you when there's nobody else there and when nobody needs you. You got to be okay with you and being alone with you. But many of us can't do that. That's a topic for a whole nother day. Many of us can't do that. But we're not gonna go there.
And I tell people one of the things I used to tell individuals, and I still remind myself of this. And I said, you have to stop peopling. Now I don't know if that's a word, but that's a word that I use. You have to stop peopling. What would people say? What would people do? What would people think? Because some people feel bad, like you said, if they're not the person, if they're not the go-to person. But you can't be at every event. You can't at and you can't be everywhere to everything and everybody and not be number one. And I had to tell and I used to feel guilty for that, feeling like I'm not a good enough friend, or I'm not a good enough daughter or sister. And I'm like, well, Gina, well, if you're not being good to you, how are you going to be anything to anyone else?
You can't be. You can't be. You think you are just because you're showing up, but you're showing up unhealthy. And it's showing up in other ways. It's showing up in your response. It's showing up in your attitude. You might be there, but you're not happy about being there. So why go? Why just say no? Just say, no, I'm not going to do it today. And be okay with it. And here's the biggest thing. And don't feel guilty. Sit down. Don't feel guilty. We do that as well.
Guilt is a cesspool for sicknesses and diseases. When you start feeling guilty, now I get it. If a good friend of mine asked me to do something and I just can't do it, my humanness would be like, oh my gosh, I really wish I could. And that's an authentic feeling. And that's okay to say, wow, I really feel bad that I'm unable to help you with that. But I don't have to feel guilty about something that I'm wanting to do. I want to do that, but I have something else planned and I can't. That's different.
Absolutely.
But when you are the go-to person where you're burning yourself out on all ends and still trying to work, then what time are you giving to your goals and your dreams and your aspirations? I just had this revelation with myself this morning where God had to remind me, wait a minute, it's not that I read a post on Facebook that made me stop in my tracks. And I said, Gina, it's not what you was praying. It was the motive of what you was praying about. And I had to check myself, like, I said, wait a minute. I said, I was praying about this situation all wrong because I was praying about it because of how I felt, not what I needed God to do or what I wanted. It was strictly on emotions. So my prayer and the thing that I feared the most, and y'all, this is real. Now you hear a lot of law of attraction this and law of attraction that, but the thing that you fear the most that you're praying against, because that emotion, that fear emotion is one thing, and the energy that you're putting out, the thing that you fear the most is the thing that you bring upon you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you're in fear of something not working out, but you're saying, Lord, please let it work out. Please let it work out. You're praying out of fear versus, Lord, I'm releasing this into your care. I'm releasing that you are in control. Help me manage my emotions with this, regardless of how the outcome is. But my desire is XYZ. Now I'm centering myself to be present versus a fear of what's in the future that hasn't come yet.
Hallelujah. Yes. Yes. When you were talking, I heard that he has to tell us to get out of our feelings. I heard that loud and clear. Because we can get into our feelings so deep. We got to get out of our feelings. It's not even about your feelings.
You are on it.
Mm-mm.
You are on it.
No,
That's what I
it's
want
about
to say.
listening to our bodies, listening to our minds, listening to our spirit. It ain't about your feelings. It ain't about how you feel.
There's a place for our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
God let me know that there's a place for your emotions. No one is suggesting to be emotionless, or because we have enough people that walk around with no emotions, not a care in the world, and they're hurting people and they're having casualties of war because they have negated their feelings. Our emotions also ring off as alarms as well. But
Yes,
there
yes.
is a place
For
for
that.
feelings, because I feel
Absolutely.
happy, sad, glad. God has inundated us with these emotions. It came
Mhm.
as a package, but it is our position to manage them. Does it fit
Control.
where you are? And when I thought about the things that I have been praying about here recently and being overly emotional and found myself weeping and crying, and then this morning I said, wait a minute, hold on. That is not God's desire for you to be in distraught about something that you have no clue is happening. You praying against something that you don't even know is coming. So it was when I got that revelation this morning. All day long, I've been walking in gratitude, Lord.
Peace and
Thank
peace.
you. Yes, he had to remind me of who I am.
And
And
who he
that only
is.
comes by way of paying attention.
Not just who
Peace.
you are, but who he is.
Yes.
Above
Yes.
all.
Above.
Knows all. Yeah, we have to remember that. We have to remember that. Listen, I want you to know that I am so excited about everything that Black women handling business is doing. I am so proud of
Thank
you.
you.
I am so excited that I was able to assist you. Thank goodness
Thank
for social
you.
media, to be able to share, to be able to invite. And I am so excited that it's sold out.
Yes. Yes. I
That is
literally.
actually amazing, 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 amazing. Is there anyone who is watching that has any questions for Miss Gina? If you're on YouTube, you can text me. Any questions? Any questions? I see that we have a few comments. No matter what you do, there will always be someone with something to say. Absolutely, positively. That was posted by Brenda Lee. Absolutely. Any questions? Any questions for Miss Gina?
And
Please
let me,
give
let me
some hearts if you enjoyed Miss Gina. We
and I'll
are
leave you all
so.
with one thing, and this is why I
Mhm.
like to tell people
Go ahead.
anytime that you're doing something, and I know you can speak to this, I always tell people, and this is where I find my peace right before any of event that I do, that when you know, one, you know you can't please everybody.
Mm-mm.
That's the first thing. First thing in planning, you have to come to that conclusion within yourself. I know that no matter how hard I'm working, I know no matter how much I put my all into it, I know that it won't please everybody. I
Absolutely.
know that it will not be a fit for everybody. So when you go in knowing that, and I know if Brenda's still watching, my ladies from the retreat, they know this. When you go in knowing that you won't please everybody, it's going to give you peace, because there will always be somebody that's going to find something wrong. Oh, he should have did this, or you know what, she should have did that, or we
Mhm.
should have had that, or this is
Mhm.
what our money paid for. And when someone gets in that mindset, they're going to miss the experience.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's what I tell myself when I go to
Mhm.
some event and I have paid my money. The very first thing, being that I'm an event organizer, I go in knowing no matter what, I'm just believing that this person has done everything that they know to do to create an experience. I don't want to miss out on it. So whether it's the food that's not pleasing to me, guess what? I don't have to eat it.
Right.
But I'm also not going to
Right.
talk about it. The
Right.
entertainment might suck. Guess what? And when I get in my car, I can always turn on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come to peace with that you've done everything that you know to do and you won't please everybody, you would walk away in a much better headspace than wondering
Absolutely.
what one or two people are going to say versus the many that enjoyed their experience. So
Mm-hmm.
for those that, are looking to plan events or looking to host something, stop peopling. Don't worry about the people because by default, we're in our humanness. It happens. Get with people that are going to pray and support you, that's going to pour into you. And lastly, when you know that you've done all that you can do
Mm-hmm.
and it's now showtime, you got to
Yes.
release any form of perfection and just look at it as I did my very best.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we have a question here. Besides the Black Women in Business Gala, what other services do you offer? When is your retreat?
Well, the retreat, I'm working on that as we speak. That is hopefully coming up. I'm hoping to lock that day in October. So past few years, we've had it in October after Labor Day, usually before the holidays start. And we're also, which you have to join my newsletter. You have to go to automotivatesolutions.com, sign up for the newsletter because we are revamping and rebranding so I can get back to doing the things that I love. I want to get back to hosting small workshops and coaching and getting Black Women Handling Business Mastermind team back up and going. And that is definitely for our the people that are saying that are on the level of this is what I want to do, but I don't know the first step to take. That's where I come in at, because oftentimes the people at beginning levels are the people that usually get left out, and those respectfully that always say if somebody can't afford your services or they're not at that level, then they're not meant for you. But we also can't leave them behind because I'm a part of that population. I'm a workingpreneur.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I've done the groundwork to help make it easier for the person that's coming up behind me that says, I don't know how to pick out a name. I don't know anything about getting my business license. I don't know what to do with the workshop. I don't know how to navigate on social media. And I'm proud to tell people that my sold out events did not come by way of having a full team. I didn't have a social media marketer. I'm the social media marketer. I'm the manager. I'm the one
We
that's
talked about that.
the
Mm-hmm.
scenes doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, once you learn your craft, I'm like, I go on Fiverr, $7.50 for a flyer. So there are plenty of resources out there. So it's like helping people find those golden eggs. And the beauty of it all is that you have to put the work in.
Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely. And while you were talking, I have something coming up and we're going to talk about it
Okay.
because, yeah, we're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk. I'm not going to say what it is right now.
Okay.
We're going to talk. We're going to talk. We're going to talk. Any more questions for Miss Gina? Any more questions? Any more questions? Thank y'all for joining. We know that we were fighting against Holy Saturday, but listen, the nuggets that dropped today, they'll be able to get it. It's on YouTube. We'll be able to share it, and we'll be able to share it to different entities after we are done. I want you to know that I am so grateful for you taking out time on this Saturday to join me on Her Peace Talk show to talk about I Motivate Solutions and to talk about Black women handling business. I so appreciate you. Now, at the bottom, we're going to turn our cameras off just for a moment so that I can share some other information. I want you all to save the information. I want you to know that Healing Tears is going to be joining me. This is my daughter, Dr. Kenya Williams. This is her business, and I'm going to also call it a ministry. The Locks Bar of Orlando will be joining me. If you would just keep on the lookout, I always post ahead of time. And that's what Shaka. And she is also the owner of Naki, which is products that she actually makes with her hands. And I'm also going to have images of hope. She does an empowerment event for women, and she's also going to talk about the business that she has. And then I'm also going to have a licensed therapist on with me from the Heart Centered Journey. That is Dr. Shalita Mira. And I'm also going to have I Am Tailor Made. This is the owner is Kim Hill. She's going to be coming on and talking about what she does. She does events for women as well. And also Woo, Women of Orlando. And the owner of Women of Orlando is Monique Nichols. She does empowerment events for women as well. And so we are looking forward to that. We can turn our cameras back on, Miss Gina. Looking forward to the rest of the month, having special guests come on and talk about their businesses, their ministries, and what they do as it relates to women and self-care. Again, Miss Gina, I want to thank you for being my special guest today on Her Peace Talk Show, and I look forward to being with you in the building on
Yeah.
Friday, April the 29th. I am excited to be there with you, and I already know that it is going to be amazing.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining. Those of you that chimed in by way of Facebook Live, by way of YouTube, and we pray that you will have a blessed evening and a blessed Resurrection Sunday on
Yes.
tomorrow. Take care.
Bye-bye.